7:30 or kickoff, not a first pitch, kickoff there on our airwaves. Gonna be excited to talk about everything, but let's get into our sponsors here right at the top of the 3 o'clock hour here. Lee's Air Plumbing, Heating, and Roofing. They are the sponsor for the Lee's Air Hotline, 559-320-1430. The way to reach our show, 559-320-1430. The way to get in on the conversation, be a part of the show, and get your opinions in. What do you think about the home opener coming up? We want to hear from you. Of course, the hotline is open here for you to call into the show, so that's what we got for you today. Also, Lee's is the weather sponsor, and taking a look at the weather right now, 94 degrees right now, getting up to 95 in the next hour or so. Nothing too horrible here in the Central Valley. We'll feel really good, all things considered. Tomorrow, game day weather, looking at it, it's in terms of the 97 degrees tomorrow. Could cap up to 99, so not too terrible. We've had worse. So should be a good home opener for the Bulldogs. We'll be sitting at around 100 over the next week or so. Could be dipping back into the 90s by next Friday. So enjoy it while we got it. And the summer making its last little bits of push here in the Central here in September as we approach September. Labor Day weekend. I'm sure everybody's got a lot of Labor Day weekend plans as well and all that great stuff. 3 o'clock hour also sponsored by Clovis Truck Center. Clovis, be sure to swing by, say hi to my friends, tell them Phil sent you there. All right, what else do we got? What do we got on the show today? It's a Friday, so it's a little blend of everything going on. We're talking Fresno State. State home opener coming up tomorrow, and a little over, let's see if I can get the math in my head here, 27 hours, over 27 hours from now, the Bulldogs will be kicking off from Bulldog Stadium. Into that, we'll talk about some of the stuff in high school as well. Paul Metter is going to be joining me in hour number 2. He will be hanging with me at 4 o'clock. Should be good. We'll do my final little bit of Benotti's Best. We're revealing my top 4 teams in the National Football League to round out my 32-team power ranking before we get into Week 1 prep for real. We got Benotti Blitz making its return next week. Can't wait for that. And Swahlberg, including some free camp opportunities in the Central Valley. You want to get some information on that, especially for the kids in the you want to get involved with the Fresno State men's basketball team. Some free camps on the horizon. We'll have that information from that interview. So if you missed it, you want to listen to that coming up in this hour as well. So we'll get into that. We'll get into everything going on in the weekend. We'll talk about what we're watching as well for the weekend as well. All that great stuff. Big college football weekend as well. A lot to dive into in the college football weekend. So much to get into. Got the last standalone college getting the levers and all that great stuff. Jorge, how are we doing on this Friday?
Doing good.
Good? Fantastic.
So far, so good.
Succinct opinion about how you're doing. I like it.
Had a good lunch. So.
Yeah. And back on the mic, we got Chloe, who's doing the video producing. Chloe, how are we doing?
Pretty good. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. You're going to be hanging with us at Friday Night Lights tonight as well.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, you're going to be I would say the biggest lunch we've ever had in this building, courtesy of our friends at Hino Oishi. My goodness, that was some delicious lunch, Jorge, what we had.
That was unexpected, but yeah, it was good.
I was not prepared for the amount of teppanyaki I was about to consume, and I
hands down to our buddy Nico
Pacheco, yes.
Who went
from last night, by the way. Let's just do a little recap of last night's action because I like to do that here at the top of the show. How about a little Central Valley recap on the high school front, and we'll dive into some of these scores mean in terms of talking to Paul Metter. We heard about a wonderful stat line from that game. How about the play from where was it? Will Bacon. That's right, Will Bacon from Reedley. How about this stat line, Jorge? He's an early contender for Student Athlete of the Week. How about 20 carries, 242 yards, 6 touchdowns last night in their 40-35 win, including a 6 seconds left touchdown game-winning run from him to win the game over Sunnyside. Reedley.
6 touchdowns.
It's according to some people I've talked to, Reedley record at least ties it, or I believe. Last week against Dinuba, Sanger, though, going up against Hanford. Hanford coming off a tough loss to Kennedy in their home opener. Overtime loss, 29-28. Hanford bounces back. They get a win over Sanger last night, 39-35 over Sanger. So Hanford on the right track again. That was a big one to get for the Bullpups. And now that kind of mixes things up around that 10-15. With the way they go at it too, but
South Valley, like especially Hanford, but they are South Valley, so like then the matches out there, so yeah, it's always good to see them.
Good to see the Bullpups going at it as well. A couple other scores to get to, some Bakersfield scores. Bakersfield High 34-0 over Garfield in their win. That was on the road against the Garfield school that's from LA, so beating an LA school. Tehachapi. Rough time going at it against Bakersfield Christian. 49-7, Bakersfield Christian over Tehachapi. Shafter getting a 55-18 win over Arvin as well. Delano, 41-35 over West. And those are some of the notables from last night. So that's what you got it. Of course, let's do a little college football roundup as well from last night in terms of the Mountain West. Wanted to dive into that before we get into Fresno.
Team is not as good as it was last year, and people feel like they're going to dominate, but I do not think so. I don't think so.
Chloe, what do you think? Boise cooked after last night's performance, 34-7 to South Florida?
It's looking like it. Yeah. I mean, I've never been a huge Boise fan, so I can't be too disappointed.
No. You'll share the same sentiment as everybody here who says they're not a huge. If you're a huge Boise fan and you're living here, figure it out. And San Diego State goes 42-0 over Stony Brook. Pretty much how it was going to go for the San Diego State Aztecs with that 42-0 victory. Tonight, looking at the Mountain West, you got a couple of games going on tonight. UNLV at Sam Houston. That's going to be in Houston, Texas. So we'll see how UNLV plays in that one. Little bit of a scare for UNLV. Their defense really couldn't do much when they shaped up against Idaho State. So you got to believe Sam Houston's got a little more pedigree to this game, being an FBS team. So UNLV might be in a little bit of trouble tonight on the road. And then our other compatriots from the San Jose State side of things, they play tonight their home opener against Central Michigan, the Zips, or excuse me, the who are they? The Chips. Yeah, the Chippewas. Yeah, San Jose State, 14.5-point favorite tonight. You feel like they could get it done in terms of that. I hyped up San Jose State when we were talking about it last. So
proud to hear that.
Yeah, I'll say this: they have opportunities in front of them, especially with how easy the Mountain West schedule they have is in front of them.
Opportunities to lose.
No. It's my Spartans here. It's a home opener. It's going to be a lot of energy. They're going to play good.
You're making so many good friends with the Boise take, but now it's going right down the drain with the San Jose State take in terms of that. So just be mindful of that when you're talking about your Spartans. Your Spartans. Clearly not mine. All right. By the way, heads up, we have streaming, by the way. It looks like we got our streaming up. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Be sure to stream there if you want to watch the video portion of the show, see our wonderful faces on air. Let's talk about it with Fresno State, right? Because Fresno State coming up against this game against Georgia Southern. The line has moved in favor of Georgia Southern, 1.5 point favorites for Georgia Southern on the road. Fresno State, I would say, was a very lackadaisical start to the season, a very ho-hum, humbling performance against Kansas last week. From the lead up into this one, I think the fans have been cautious about their expectations of this team. We have tried to do our best about communicating to the idea that this Georgia Southern team is a team to be reckoned with, a team that will certainly have capabilities of beating Fresno State if you face them in the wrong situation. I certainly have an interest in how this game's going to start. I think that's going to teach us a lot about where this game's going to go in terms of if our offense gets off to the right groove, if our defense makes a couple of 3-and-outs in those situations. But all in all, it's just got to be better, looks better, and I know the players have been expecting that from them, and I'm curious to see who punches first, because I think this game on Saturday tomorrow, the Bulldogs certainly got punched first against Kansas in that opening drive. I'm not saying that's going to determine how the game is going to go, but I got to believe that Fresno State's got to control the pace a lot better, control the game a lot better. It's a team they can do that against. It's just a matter of will they and can they execute in those situations. So got to see better football from their side of things. How do you feel about it going in? I'll start with Jorge.
I think it's a learning opportunity, especially last week. It was a learning opportunity for the Dogs, and I think the jitters should be out of first week jitters. A lot of people, sometimes they don't.
Atmospheres, those kinds of situations. If you look back, obviously, and you don't need me to tell you, last year with the clutch situations and all of that with the basketball team, do you feel like that helps in games like this when you have guys who've been in those clutch crucial situations?
Not even a question. I think the biggest thing that I think people are going to see this year with this, one, we're going to be a lot smarter. We're going to handle the ball a little bit better, and we're actually going to be able to shoot the ball a lot better. And I tell you, shooting cures a lot of ills.
Mm-hmm.
With Jake Highbritter that we got from Clemson is as good a shooter. I had Cole Anderson in high school, and Cole was probably the best shooter I've ever had, and Jake and Cole would be a heck of a battle.
Yeah.
And then, we got DJ Douglas back from last year, and DJ's a heck of a shooter. We brought in Cam Foss from UMKC, and he's a real – there's times we can put 3 to 4 I think very solid shooters where they should be 35 to 40% plus three-point shooters, and that's a heck of a weapon to have.
And that's what you kind of needed from because I felt like you had a lot of those shots available. A lot of those shots were ready and open, just wasn't hit in terms of that, right?
Well, I think if I go back last year, I think the first 11 or 12 games, we were like 22% from the three as a team. Yeah. It got better through the course of the year, knowing what shots to take and so forth. And I think the other thing I think people are going to realize, they're going to see how the ball moves so much freer this year. Mm-hmm. So far in practice, that extra pass has been phenomenal. The players are learning how, taking a good shot, making it to a great shot. Yeah. And when you can get that at this time of the year, it's been really nice. I'll just be honest with you, it's a lot nicer for me going home at night knowing that we got guys that know how to play the game a lot better and share the ball that better.
Jason, you watched many of obviously the games, and when I talk about when you see the game plan is being executed in that way, but the shots weren't going down per way.
It was being executed as much as you'd expect them to execute at least in year one of of how they're being developed. I mean, I think the weird thing with the portal and this is it's always going to feel like year 1 or 2 with your rosters. So you're only going to get so deep into the system of what you can and can't do, but I think they did what they wanted to. Of course, there's going to be more to it this year. They're older. I think that's a big part of it. They're a lot older, so they're much more mature. They're much more well-rounded, right? They're so much better in every aspect. I say outside of they're probably maybe a little less athletic than they were last year.
Yeah.
But not in a way that you really notice, you know. But they're good inside too, and they have a bunch of different pieces. I think with this team that can match up with a lot of different teams in the Mountain West.
Coach, I was going to go there next because the other thing I kind of thought, I'm like, the strength at the rim. Sometimes when they attack the rim, a lot of these guys were getting blocked, or there was a little bit of physicality that didn't quite finish those plays in the rim. Do you feel like you got some more guys that can be capable of attacking the rim when they need to, and finding ways to have better opportunities when they go to
We do, and the other thing I don't think people realize, Phil, when you don't shoot the ball well, that rim's going to be packed a lot more.
And you're forced to go in there.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
And when we got some shooters now where it's going to be, instead of having 6 hands in there, it might be just 4 hands slapping at that ball, maybe 2.
Yeah.
We got a couple guys that can really get the ball, I think can take the ball to the rack. Then we have about 3 or 4 guys that can really shoot the ball. And I think that combination, once we figure out how to work it all together, I think people are going to really, enjoy what and finally see what I want to put out there.
Yeah, and I would say the biggest part with that is that they have a couple bigs that can finish this year, and this is not me killing Moore-Sec. Moore is a great kid, I mean, you feel bad for him, for a little bit, just because like he struggled and coming off injury, very hard. But these kids are much more skilled and they much more experienced, much more mature than Moore, right? Or what we had inside last year, right?
Yeah.
And it helps when you know that you have that option, right? You've got to be able to finish inside and protect inside. So
Yeah.
And then also having McCon this year, McCon's got, he just came back yesterday, was his first day.
Yeah.
He had, with the Trump thing and everything, the visa problems and so forth. So he just got back from Senegal yesterday. And again, yesterday was a tough day for him. Today, you can just see the difference of yesterday's workout to today's. Just a step one day, but how much better he got.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, you can put a 7-footer with a 6'11" wing on the same spot with a 6'5" shooter and 6'7" shooter and a point guard like Zion. Now you got some things you can really do.
Yeah, the point is the defense has to make a choice at some point instead of what the only option that you guys were afforded. Having to make those choices, that you want as many choices the defenses are have to force to make when it comes to that, and when you get ready and build all that to you, I'm sure that works in the off season the way you guys have been building to the game plan of it. I'm sure you're already rolling into what rotations you could possibly get into. How does that work when you're evaluating it through the summer and into September here?
Well, summer wasn't much an evaluation because we were missing the 4 international kids, and Zion was hurt for about 5 weeks and so forth. So, but now with having the international kids here, because our whole thing was the 4 international kids. Can at least 2 of them help us?
Yeah.
Hopefully, obviously we wanted all 4, and I think in the first week with these guys, I can see where all 4 are going to really help us. Mm-hmm. Bastian's a point guard. Just like Zion, he's a pass-first point guard. He enjoys making that pass, and he's smart. And, both him and Wilson played on their under-20 Euro Cup team that ended up taking 4th in July over in Greece. So they got that great experience all summer. Then Nathan Zulemi, who we just got into a couple of days ago, he's just a 6'4" raw athlete. I mean, he's got a 6'10" wingspan. When he goes to the hoop, he's going to the hoop.
Yeah.
He's looking to dunk on you. He's looking to put his knee right through your chest. He's got that physicality I just absolutely love. Then you got Gasper G, who from Slovenia is about 6'9", who's a really good athlete. You can play the pick and pop game, little pocket pass where he can make plays and so forth. So like Jay said, we just have a lot more weapons this year. The key is hopefully you got to keep them healthy.
I got to ask you, Jason, when somebody tries to crack Vance's rotation, and let's say you as a player, you've been in the experience of trying to crack his rotation. What do these players have to do to find the playing time for him, especially when it comes to this time of year?
I think just Sorry. Sorry, my phone going off. In the
Oh, you're
background.
good.
Yeah,
You're good.
I honestly, for them to crack the rotation, I think like they just need to be the best versions of themselves, right? I mean, coach is not asking. We know who they are. They know who they are. We're just trying. He's just trying to get them to, be the best version of themselves in a certain role. And the 9 or 10 guys that can do that are going to play. It's a weird thing. I don't think you're going to see. And this is just my opinion. I haven't talked to him about any of it. I think you're not going to see the same. Like, you might see the same top 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Right. That you'll see every night. But I think that the 8, 9, and 10 each game might vary, because I think everybody on this roster can help.
Mm-hmm.
I really think. I think realistically, 13, 14 players can step on the floor tomorrow and help.
We would take it over 7 we were running.
I honestly
into the
felt
tournament.
last year,
Six,
and I don't even really felt like you had 6 able bodies, 6 beating hearts, and
Yeah.
I don't feel like you had 6 guys, and they're all good kids, and you root for all of them.
Yeah.
But you're trying to win games in the Mountain West. Let's be honest.
Yep.
And
then we were trying to win games of the Pac-12.
And it takes really good. You have to be a really good player to play
Yeah.
a lot of minutes in this conference. It's a great conference.
For sure. Vance, I got a curious question for you in terms of just getting guys ready for the season, in terms of the durability of basketball, in terms of durability of staying healthy throughout the season. Coach Entz, I don't know how much you cross over with him. He's brought a lot of like the sports medicine, nutrition, kind of getting guys ready in a proper way in terms of targeting how they get ready for a season. Have you ever picked his brain, or have you talked to the sports medicine people about kind of that stuff and getting guys ready in that aspect and getting them ready for a season?
Oh, definitely. You got to remember, when I was in the NBA,
Yeah, that's true.
That's all it's talking about. When I was especially with the 76ers, for Brett Brown when we were there, just the recovery, the hydration, the rest, and all that was so big. The hard part for me is my culture is you got to learn how to play hard, and you got to play hard all the time. Now, how hard can you push them to play hard, and then make sure they can recover?
Yeah.
We're in twice a week we do some real good running right now. And when the kids are done, they're dead. I mean, they know it. So figure out how to get through that, come back the next day, still play hard. And then right now, because we don't have a lot, we're not on the floor a lot, but when we get to the 20 hours on September 22nd, then you got to be a lot more, recognize what's going on and so forth. But we have a recovery lab. Our trainer, Rachel, I think, does a really good job with the kids. We got our dietitian, so they know what to do. The biggest thing I think we have to do is put calories on most of our kids, because we burn so much.
Has it changed for a while? Like you through the NBA, you've been coaching everywhere at every level. Has it changed a lot since you've been?
I think the biggest change is, honestly, and I don't know if it's good, it's all the rest day. You see how many players are being rested in the NBA and so forth. And I understand 82 games. You got 7 or 8 non-league, preseason games. And if you make the playoffs, you got 4 series out of 7. And I understand that.
And the star player is making 7 times as much as the GM, so he's his boss. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll play when I want to.
You got players that are coming up that are almost going to make $1 million a game now, which is absolutely crazy. I mean, it's great for them and everything else. But for the college kids, again, the recovery and the rest is going to be really, really critical. We have 4 or 5 guys that we cannot afford, to go down and get hurt.
Talking about this group and what's pulling together, what have you really? I mean, what has put out? I mean, you talked about all the guys that have been what they've been putting out, but have they been coming together in a sense as well? Because obviously, when we talked about last year's team, it was a lot of guys coming together from different spots, and this year's team, it feels like the same way. But have you felt like there's been a little more community with this team and the way the guys have responded to each other?
Not even a question. I think the biggest difference for this year is that we can teach it once or twice, and they're picking up. Where last year it might have taken 7, 8, 9 different days before they pick it up. And the other thing that's been really neat is, like Jay said, your first year in, you're just trying to survive. You got this, you got that.
Yeah.
And we were, I think, the 8th youngest team last year, or 12th, or whatever it was. But having like Jake and Cam, that are 2 grad seniors, having that leadership just means so much. and then just them trying to teach the younger kids the way to handle things. And then I'll be honest with you, I think we got pretty darn lucky with the young kids that we brought in. You know, DJ Stickman from Clovis West, he's getting better and better. He's just so freaking athletic. You know, he can come in. I thought we were going to probably redshirt him. There's no way we're going to redshirt him. Okay. You got Deshaun Gorey. You know, Deshaun came in this summer 6'7.5", 159.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, he is thin.
Wow.
But you go watch him play. He reminds me so much of Corey Brewer.
Okay.
If anybody knows NBA and watched Corey, how the energy Corey had,
One of my
and how
favorite
hard he
50-point
played.
games.
Yeah. You remember the guy really couldn't shoot, and he had a 50-point.
Yeah, I know.
He had a 50-point game.
Deshaun has a chance of being a special player one day.
Yeah. He's got that. I got it. He's got what you call a big, you know what?
Yeah,
no moment's big enough for him. He wants to go in and go dunk on you every time.
For sure.
And I love that. And then Mateo Porto, you know, when Mateo came the first week, we were going, you know, he had a hard time understanding some things and doing some things. And both him and Deshaun, every day they just get a ton of shots up, and you know, they're going to get better. Watching this group,
I think people are itching for good basketball here, and we're looking forward to it. I got a couple minutes here left. I want to touch on real quick some Valley Athletic stuff. You were one of the big visionaries for it, seeing Jason take it over and do what he's doing there. I know you got some good stuff coming up, Jason, but Vance, just real quick, what is it like to see him work hard at the Valley Athletic side?
Well, not only Jason, I don't see much. I've been so busy, honestly.
Observe from afar.
I feel bad because my family, Jason, my daughter Heather, my son-in-law Jonathan, Ian, my other son, you know, they put their time in and so forth. It's been hard for me to put much time in, so I feel bad in that way because we did want to get this thing going, but with the opportunity with Fresno State. But no, I mean, I think people down the line are going to really appreciate what Valley Athletics is doing for the area. You know, to have a place where they can go and try and get better, whether it's volleyball or basketball. Yeah. You know, and that was always our goal.
And Jason, little reminder for the folks, what's coming up for you guys?
Yeah. So just tomorrow, VBA, so that's our basketball academy. We have tryouts for our AAU teams for fall AAU. So that's tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. It's our last night of tryouts for fall. And then for our volleyball academy, which is unquestionably the best academy in the Valley, we have a couple national championships already. But we also have beginner teams too, so it's not just for people that are superstar 11 through 12. So girls aged 9 to 14, 9 to 14, October 11 to 12.
And Phil, one other thing I should have probably said: Valley Athletics and Fresno State men's basketball are going to host free camps.
Wow!
Sunday, September 7th, from 8 to 10. Anybody in Central, Clovis Unified, Fresno Christian, they're welcome. There's a sign up. It's free. We'll take 100 third and fourth graders from 8 to 10, 100 fifth and sixth graders from 10:30 to 12:30. Then the following Sunday, we're going to do Clovis Unified.
Wow.
Same thing. So we're going to try and host 400 kids. They get a free T-shirt, come in, get to see the kids, play some basketball, learn something from the players, and I think it's great for the community to see.
That's an awesome thing to hear, man. Appreciate it. And guys, I appreciate you taking the time. And I know we're up against it here, but you guys, best of luck on the season. We'll be talking before things get rolling there. But
you got it, Phil.
Appreciate it. Thanks, you guys.
Phil. Appreciate you.
Jason Wahlberg, Vance Wahlberg here in studio. Stay with us. We'll be right back on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Drum roll, please. KFC is bringing back the bold, craveable classic guests and fans have been asking for. Hot and spicy wings and potato wedges. For a limited time, the ultimate fan favorite pair will make all your game days this season even more delicious. And that's not all. While it feels like competitors are continuously making their food smaller and smaller, for the same price, the Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwich remains bigger and better. Guests can get it for just $3.99 for a limited time. You can't beat that, only at KFC.
Hey, football fans, you know what makes a team great on the gridiron? It's when all the players do their part to make everything work. That's what Superior Pipe can do for your food processing plant, chemical plant, boiler service, or tank truck. Thanks to their reliable and durable pipes, valves, and fittings, you can be sure that everything that makes your team perform is running strong. Service and competitive pricing, they'll help make sure all your players are doing their part. Call now at 266-PIPE or visit online at SuperiorPipeUSA.com today. Go Dogs!
At Citizens Business Bank, we've been taking a personal approach to banking. and are consistently recognized as one of the top performing banks in the nation. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We believe in the importance of building long-lasting and genuine relationships with our customers. We want to provide you with the solutions you need to grow your business because your success is our success. Citizens Business Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Phil.
Silent. But 2 doors down, the Millers, cool and comfortable. Why? They called Lee's Air for a $99 AC maintenance before summer started. We catch problems before they catch you. Don't sweat the heat. Beat it. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, guaranteed. Call now or schedule at leesair.com.
Need cash? If you've got a car, we've got the cash. Clausen Hunt. We are ready to buy. Call Clausen Honda of Fresno today. If you've got a car, we've got the cash. Get cash for your car. Clausen Honda. Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through
Frazee Road, Suite 500, San Diego, California, 92108. CordellCordell.com.
Behind the bench here on 1430 ES. Paul Metters is going to be standing by waiting for us here at the top of the hour. So a little bit more house cleaning to get to. A couple of things. A reminder, Grocery Outlet, our 5 locations that we're participating in. We have a contest for you. Our contest closed for this week, but we still have 5 opportunities for you to win 2 tickets and $100 to your tailgate. Courtesy of your friends here at ESPN Fresno and Grocery Outlet. What do you have to do? Well, you simply have to go to locations in Northwest Fresno, which is Shaw 99 areas, like off of Marty. You want to go to downtown, right by the train station, and you can find a way to enter there. They're going to have some signage and posted, all that kind of good stuff there for you to enter into the contest so you can have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Fresno State home game, plus $100 game, plus $100 to your tailgate, courtesy of Grocery Outlet there. So enter today, get a chance to win. Next game is coming up on the 13th. That's the Southern game against Fresno State. So we'll be picking a winner early that week. So you want to get your entries in, get a chance to opportunity for you to set yourself up nicely. You can do a lot with $100 towards your tailgate this day and age. So be sure to feed the people you need in your life when you're getting ready for football. Another big announcement. We are back for Major Wager coming up for Monday Night Football. I know we are excited to bring it back to you. So Monday Night Football makes its return, not next Monday, but the following Monday, the September 8th. Major Wager back at me and Ed's Victory. You get an opportunity to get some ESPN bucks. You get to gamble on the games in terms of the prop bets that we create, all that fun stuff. And at the end, you get an opportunity of Fresno Ag. So that's what you got there for Major Wager. Should be a lot of fun. Monday Night Football starting week 1. That's going to be the Vikings at the Bears. That is the first one. That is September 8th, I believe. September 8th. So be sure to attend. Be sure to be there. Should be a lot, including some high school action as well from the night before. Talk a little bit of everything going on in football. Maybe we'll touch on Fresno State. We'll see. Everything and that more coming up next on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Prices on steel and materials are up everywhere, but you can still get unbeatable value for your residential, commercial, industrial, or ag projects at Pacific Steel Supply in Fresno. They'll match or beat any competitor's price by at least 10% on top quality steel, metal roofing, and components. Ready when you are. Massive inventory? Yes. Same-day delivery? Yes. 24/7 service? Yes. Get your free quote today. Call or swing by Pacific Steel Supply, Ashland and Parkway in Fresno, off Highway 99, or visit PacificSteelSupply.com.
Are you tired of waiting forever for your prescriptions? Grizzly Pharmacy is here to tame your healthcare needs. We fill most prescriptions in 15 minutes or less, always accepting new patients. And enjoy.com for more information.
Sports fans of the Central Valley can feed up to 5 people for $35 every day. Located right off the 41 north of Avenue 11, stop by the Butcher Boss today and become the boss of your barbecue.
Introducing the Sidebar, a brand new open-air beer garden at Me and Ed's Coney Island Grill in River Park. Experience a new way to catch a game, hang with friends, and enjoy new appetizers. Char-grilled burgers, salads, wings with over 10 house-made sauces, and of course, world-famous Me and Ed's pizza. Thirsty? Try our self-poured taps with over a dozen ciders and craft seltzer. Full bar with an impressive selection of tequilas, whiskeys, and craft cocktails. The Sidebar at Me and Ed's Coney Island Grill, now open in River Park.
Are cracked screens or dying batteries slowing you down? Don't fret. Visit Cellfix today for fast and reliable phone repairs. Our certified technicians specialize in fixing all major brands.
I know how important some of this equipment for the farmers is. Without it, they can't get the job done.
That's Bob Aguirre, service manager at Pioneer Equipment Company.
My philosophy is get the tractor in and get it out as fast as I can. It's not supposed to be in the shop. It's supposed to be out in the field working.
Pioneer provides quality service for Kubota, Land Pride, and Nelson Equipment. Stop by and say hi.
24-hour self-service pickup and drop-off drive-through. You can skip the hassle. Drop off by 9 a.m. and enjoy same-day service at no extra cost. From work clothes to weekend wear, table linens to bedding, Jones Cleaning Center keeps it all so you have time for else. Serving Fresno for over 55 years. On Palm, just north of Herndon, or online at jonescleaning.com.
Fall has arrived at Patrick James, where style meets tradition. Come in and see the latest items from the brands you love. Peter Millar, Robert Graham, Faraday, and True Grit, just to name a few. Stop by and experience our brand new shop-in-shops featuring Johnny O and the very first Martin Dingman shop west of the Rockies. Discover finely crafted apparel, exceptional service, and a locally owned store that's been serving the Valley for generations. Patrick James, where looking your best begins this.
Season 9, Chris Smith. The Patriots have released veteran safety Jabril Peppers in a surprising shakeup on the back end of their defense. Peppers has played 99 career games over 9 seasons with 494 tackles, 5.5 sacks, and 7 INTs. And after the shocking trade of Pro Bowl edge rusher Michael Parsons to the Green Bay Packers, head coach Brian Schottenheimer addressed the team with a message: nothing has changed, my goals haven't changed, our team goals haven't changed. Meanwhile, the point spread on Saturday's showdown between number 3 Ohio State and top-ranked Texas has been on the move all week, with the Buckeyes now a 1.5-point favorite at ESPN Bet. And Buckeyes head coach Ryan Day says this game will be a measuring stick for their program.
Extremely excited to play in this game. I mean, Texas is excellent. You know, they're super talented. They're very well coached. I think Sark does a great job. I think their coaches do a great job. Certainly, Arch is a tremendous player, and they have great players in all three phases. But, for us, week one, to get some real feedback on where we are to kind of start our journey into this season is going to be tremendous.
Day, a guest on the Pat McAfee Show. If the line does close with Ohio State as the favorite, Texas would become the first team, ranked number 1 in the preseason AP Top 25, to be an underdog in its first game. And Florida Athletic Director Scott Strickland has signed a 3-year extension that will keep him under contract to 2030. Strickland has enjoyed 13 national titles, 45 crowns, while leading one of the most recognizable brands in college sports. Baseball, the Padres plays shortstop Xander Bogaerts on the 10-day IL with a non-displaced fracture in his foot. San Diego entering 2 games behind the Dodgers in the NL West.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up on Unsportsmanlike, week 1 of the NFL season is finally here. Will the Eagles repeat, or will the competition in the NFC be too fierce? We'll discuss it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still, the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Benotti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader here on this Friday. One more hour of my show this week, and then we are off till Tuesday. That's right. Labor Day weekend. Everybody's going to enjoy that nice little 3-day weekend action here. Can't wait. Probably need 2 days to recover after maybe the Fresno State home opener, so we'll see how it goes. And maybe I need 3 days to recover after what we may get tonight from our crew. Paul Metters, Pat Hill is joining me tonight at Clovis and Salinas tonight at LaMonica Stadium. And one of those guys is joining me in studio, not donning a Fu Manchu. Paul Metters is on the airwaves here with me.
Well, might as well just call me not Pat Hill.
Not Pat Hill. Have you ever tried to grow a Fu Manchu before?
I have. So my Twitter avatar picture, I do have my goatee. Even my wedding pictures, I got the goatee. And I think you've only known me as being clean-shaven, Paul, right? So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we could bring it back, right? You go through different phases in life. I've had a beard for a while, but not the Fu Manchu.
I've only had it once. In college, I lost a bet because I bet that the Broncos would lose to the Patriots. I think it was in 2013, and they said you had to rock the Joe Flacco stash. Because if you remember, there was a year where Joe Flacco rocked just the full handlebar down, and I had to rock it for 2 weeks during the season before the Super Bowl, and I couldn't shave it when the Broncos lost that horrible Seahawks Super Bowl, that 48 to whatever Super Bowl it was, crazy one. But that was my college days. The only time I rocked a Fu Manchu.
You could bring it back. That would have been awesome. That would have made for great radio, great content.
I look horrendous. Right? I look horrendous. I look crazy, and I look like people would avoid me. People still avoid me, but people could avoid me even more. Paul, we got a great opportunity to talk about a lot of great things here in high school football. Of course, some awesome games tonight. This is a really, really fascinating, great week of football. But I want to dive into last night's action because I think there's some good stuff to touch into. I mentioned the scores at the top. I kind of touched on them a little bit briefly. You can provide some good context to it. Obviously, the league game last night, Hanford-Sanger, I think I put it as my number 2 game overall this week in terms of intrigue in football. It delivered on the hype. I thought Sanger was going to have an upper edge in this game. Hanford didn't really play up to the ability I think we thought, and Hanford stood up and got a first win of the year, 39-35. What have you been hearing from that game?
Well, you have preconceived notions about certain teams. You hear things, you talk to coaches, you text with coaches, and after maybe week 3 or 4 even, you don't really have a good sense of some of these teams, right? I knew that Hanford had lost a lot of their studs from the year before. They went 10-0. My goodness, what a great season they had last year. And Sanger lost a few guys too. They were always a really tough game. I had the edge for Sanger, by a couple touchdowns. Just Not, just feeling things out and, just talking to different people. But I tell you what, man, Ken Sanchez and his staff, they know what they're doing. They're hard to stop with that spread offense. And they came out with the win. I had some coaching friends that were there at the game. They were texting me updates, and it kept going back and forth, right? As soon as I thought, well, Sanger's going to wear them down in the second half, here comes Hanford taking the lead, and Sanger scores again. And Hanford, they just kept grinding it out, and that's a lot of points that Hanford put up. So Jaron Mao, their quarterback, threw for 302 yards and 5 touchdowns. Right? That's a pretty good game for the junior quarterback. So yeah, that's a really, really good win for Hanford.
Jaron also running for one as well. I'm looking at my stat sheet as well, but good boost, I would say, from a demoralizing loss in overtime to Kennedy to get back, bounce back. You didn't want to go 0-2, and you didn't want to go 0-2 at home, especially if you're Hanford to lead off the year.
Well, they got the 4 home games in non-league, right? Remember last year was flipped, so they got 4 out of their 5.
Yeah, and I don't know if Hanford's ever gone 0-2 to start a year at home or something like that in a long time. This is a proud program. Per se. So going to be interesting to see where they bounce back from that after the short week. Another team highlighting in this one, we had an all-time record-breaking performance out of Sunnyside High from the road team. You want to talk about it?
The Reedley Pirates.
Yeah.
And I think it was a pretty wild second and third and fourth quarters. Saw the highlights. I was keeping up a little bit last night. Right, their quarterback, Miles Bacon, had a heck of a game. 6 rushing touchdowns. Did you see the highlight, the final touchdown with 1:15 left?
I did not.
All right. Yeah, I tweeted it out. I retweeted it. It was 4th and 6 with 1:15. I'm actually not sure of the yard line, but the dude is running around crazy from the Wildcats position and took it all the way to the house. So 6 touchdowns. And a lot of people remember the incredible year that Ryan Workington, who's now on the Fresno State football roster, had. And I thought, well, surely Ryan rushed for 6 touchdowns because he seemed like he was rushing for a touchdown, every other play for Reedley a few years ago. But yeah, 6 touchdowns, and it's a really high record. So congrats to the Pirates. I got a little preview. I got Tony Gates coming on the show tomorrow, the head coach at Reedley. So we'll hear all about that game from his perspective.
Again, how good is this Reedley team potentially? Big blowout over Fresno, beating Sunnyside on the road. They play in that Kerman, Kingsburg, CVC kind of league, which with the Union as well. It's nothing easy in that league per se. Is Reedley a team that
they could be?
Could be.
Could be, and I think. It's actually I made a mistake. Miles is his dad. If you guys remember Miles, he played at Reedley College as well. His son is Will. You got to make sure. Will Bacon is the kid that rushed for 6 touchdowns for Reedley. But yeah, they play in a pretty tough league. They haven't. Let's be honest. They haven't had a lot of success in the playoffs. They haven't had deep runs in a while. But hey, when you got a kid that rushes for 6 touchdowns at Sunnyside, you're going to give yourself a shot in every game.
Well, it feels like they're going to get a shot if they keep playing like this, at least in potential postseason opportunity. If they keep finding the wins there. Some scores down in Bakersfield. I saw Justin Garza had a pretty big win over Mount Whitney, putting up 53 in any
53-18.
53-18. Garza's a team that. It's going to be interesting to see what they kind of look like moving into league play. But, hey, putting up 53 in a night, not too bad.
Yeah, I think they got a decent balance. The Smith kid is a quarterback. He's really, really athletic. And Joseph Ferris is a great coach. Another teaser, man. You're reading my mind here, Phil. Joseph's coming on the show tomorrow as well. So he's going to be talking about that big win against Mount Whitney. CMAC is always tough. And I feel like Justin Garza has always been really close to winning the CMAC, right? They've been in a lot of games. With Sanger losing to Hanford, Madera's actually looking really strong. I think they're playing Torres tonight.
Yep.
Buller's playing that Mayfield team. Mayfair, there you go. Baker Mayfield on the mind, maybe. But, I mean, I think Justin Garza, could be a little bit of a surprise in the CMAC.
Any others? There's some Bakersfield Christian got a big win. Bakersfield High got a big win. So some Bakersfield schools in action. Anything else from the recap last night or that stood out to you?
Well, I mean, those two games that you mentioned, we talked about a little bit, the Hanford and then the Reedley game, right, seem like just incredible football games. And, tonight, 51 games in the Central section.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's a precursor, a lead into tonight, it's going to be a great night of football.
Well, let's see where we hop around first here. Should we talk about our game first?
Let's do it.
Clovis and Salinas, and Clovis High, very impressive in week one. I would say as impressive as some team would announce themselves in 48-0 over CVC. That is not a team that people normally beat 48-0 in any sense of the word. So, would you say stock up on the Clovis Cougars from their week one performance out of anybody we were keeping an eye on?
Yeah, I think that game went probably as advertised for those that know the rosters. I know CVC is waiting on a couple transfers to become eligible, so they're going to be good down the stretch. But we talked about this before, Phil. I think Clovis has been building up for this year, or they have been, with Deegan Rose and Maddox Merrill playing as freshmen. This is the year, and they've loaded up. They don't seem to have much of a weakness, and we're going to be able to watch them firsthand tonight. They're very, very physical. I had a few people that were texting me updates of that game last week at CVC, and they're like, there is a noticeable difference between the players that are on the field for Clovis High and CVC. Again, not knocking CVC, right? I mean, there's a big difference in the physicality that Clovis is bringing this year. So that's going to be a huge, huge strong point for Aaron Wilkins' club.
What are you looking for out of Clovis tonight? Like, what is something you're looking forward to in like, okay, I've heard a lot of things. People are telling me a lot of things. But what do you want to actually see tonight that you're looking forward to?
I want to see that physicality, right? And, again, they have the big playability. They got ability to chunk as well. Let's say they go up big against Salinas. And what was the score last year? 41-14?
41-14, I think I had.
So a lot of people are kind of predicting the same type of thing. They're at home at La Monica. I want to see them play a full 4 quarters of intense football. Whether it's the ones or the twos out there. Again, I'm not knocking Salinas, but a lot of people expect that second half is going to look a little bit different than first. But I would like to see a complete football game from them. I want to come out from that game and say, hey, offense looked good. Merrill ran the ball pretty good. Deegan Rose had some nice throws. But the defense, right, the team was able to ram it down their throats a little bit, or the safeties looked a little bit slow at getting to some plays. I don't want to see any of that, right?
Yeah.
I want to see a full, complete football game from the Cougars.
It should be interesting. Salinas is a team. What I know about them, they play in an interesting league. They got to that bracket that I think Central East was in the state playoffs. They lost to that St. Ignatius team, I think, in the playoffs.
They were 8-2 before going into the playoffs.
8-2 before going to the playoffs, so they had a pretty decent club going into it. So it's not a program that's not like totally a slouch and coming from that Monterey area.
Yeah.
They've got some decent guys into it. It's just a matter of what we're going to see against Clovis, which Clovis, like you said, physicality. If you set the tone early, you never know quite how teams and players are going to react in that sense. So I expect Clovis to play well, but you never know. It's high school. It's high school football. Paul, I think I know where you're going to go next here, and I think you're going to go down the road, down the 99 just a little bit here for your next game you want to probably talk about, which is Clovis East and Kingsburg. I talked to Clovis East guys yesterday. You were kind of around Kingsburg this week a little bit. You were talking to some of the guys out there, so we have a little bit of a grasp on this game. What are your thoughts on this one?
So I checked out Kingsburg's practice yesterday on my way back home after school, and they practiced on that beautiful stadium that they have there, and they looked, Phil, they looked like a really well-rounded football team. Their offensive line looked like, a D1A type offensive line. Their defensive line looked just as big. They got a couple decent running backs. They have a good senior quarterback. However, on the flip side, Clovis East front seven might be as good as anybody in the Central section.
Yeah.
Really, really tough. And then you talk about the speed on the secondary as well. you had a great conversation with Jamie Spurgeon and Coach Petroson's. New program, new installs, new philosophy, a lot of new players. What did George say? Something on the offensive end, maybe like 2 starters, something like that?
No, I think he had none. He had no starters on every bit of every position on both sides of the ball going this year.
So I know Lindsey Graves has been hurt.
Still hurt, yeah.
Still hurt.
That's what he was getting at, yeah.
So when he's going to be available to play, they're going to be even better.
Yeah.
But again, you mentioned, hey, it's high school football. You never know. But Kingsbury's not going to want to get knocked around in their home stadium, right, on their home turf. So that game might be a little bit closer than some people might think. But hey, defense, man, defenses rarely go into slumps.
This will not be a high scoring game.
I don't think so.
I don't think this is This is like a 14-7 or like something like that. That's just like screams to me
21-17, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Going to another game. Why don't you pick? What do you got? What do you got is the next one you want to?
You want to talk about Central and Grant?
Okay,
all
let's
right.
go.
Did you happen to catch any of that Grant game on national television?
I saw a lot of the extracurriculars talked about from that game, but I haven't really seen the play per se of the Grant Union guys.
Yeah, I mean Folsom to me is a different level. That's who they played last week.
Yeah.
They got a 5-star quarterback headed to BYU. That kid looked absolutely legit. I think Central is ready for this football game. They're driving up north. They're playing a team that, let's be honest, didn't look real good in front of a lot of eyeballs. We saw what Central was able to do against Inglewood. I think Central's going to beat them by a couple touchdowns.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think, and we talked to Biggs just for a little bit after their game last week, and he said, well, we'll see how good this team really is. We'll see how they practice this week. We'll see how intense they come out. If there's going to be any sort of letdown, so to speak. I don't think there is.
Yeah.
This team, this Central East Bengals team is, it's a pretty special team, and they know it. But I think they're gonna rise up in this game.
Well, I just imagine how many more points they may have added to this game last week if they were not false starting like every drive. It felt like every drive, every other change of the change of the downs. It felt like, and it sounded like it was a lot on the wide receivers from what we were hearing.
A little flinch
here and there. The guys are getting eager and when it happens. So I know they're capable of getting open. They don't need that extra edge to jump off and be false starting there. But Central's got to clean up a lot of stuff. In that it's not going to work if they're playing caliber teams. I know they will. They'll take half of those penalties I think they would have against Inglewood if they get it against Grant tonight. So a little bit of cleaner football tonight, I would say, than Central East is set up a little bit better.
I agree.
How about Clovis West at Liberty? I want to go there. I want to go there next because Liberty had a fascinating game on the road in Colorado. High-scoring, crazy game.
49-45.
I think 49 combines points in the fourth quarter in that game. Nobody wanted to make any stops. Clovis West has obviously a really good quarterback and where their potency of their offense is. I think points is possible here tonight in Bakersfield when Clovis West goes down there. I think this will be a really fun one down in Bakersfield.
Well, maybe they'll score about the same amount of points as Liberty scored last week. I mean, it might be one of those types of football games. You've done a great job, Phil, talking about Fresno State all week as well, and the 1.5-point underdogs. If they go 0-2, that would not sit well with a lot of people. Well, what if Clovis West? They don't want to go 0-2, just like Buchanan. We might talk about Buchanan for a little bit as well, but. Yeah, the Golden Eagles, both of their games to start the season are on the road. They finally come home and play Edison of Stockton. We're going to have that game
tomorrow, next week.
And then Edison of Fresno, then Turlock. But I think this game, Phil, will tell us a lot about both teams, right? Like, if Liberty blows out Clovis West, that's going to be a little bit of a concern because if you talk about the preseason rankings, again, throw those things out, right? We saw Boise State showed us being ranked 25th. Throw those out. I had Clovis West around 6 preseason. I had Liberty around 5. So that's a really high-level matchup. Our friend Trevor Horn is going to be at that game, so we'll be getting some updates about that one. But I could see this game going either way. I think Liberty probably has a little bit of an edge, but if you're a Golden Eagle fan, you don't want to start the year off 0-2.
Of course not. I think there's some good feelings around this Clovis Westcott. That's what makes 0-1 starts interesting at both of these teams, and you'll feel the pressure a little bit if you drop that one. You mentioned Buchanan. Why don't we go there? Kennedy coming off of that big win over Hanford in overtime. Really good football program that some people can get familiarized with. Buchanan, a team that lost last week. It was relatively close to say what it was, but Buchanan looking to bounce back, home opener. This should be interesting at Buchanan.
Very interesting. Kennedy, they're going to be in Division III in the playoffs. They are, a couple years ago, they had that phenomenal team. They got a really tough running back. He's 225 pounds. He's going to be a load to stop. But, hey, Buchanan starting off 0-2 is not a good thought, right, for Bear Nation either. Talked a lot about their defense. Their defense is ahead of their offense. And it's a home game for Buchanan, right? It's going to be at Veterans Memorial. So that's going to be a really tough matchup for the Bears. I think Buchanan should win this football game, but I wouldn't count out Kennedy, especially after Hanford beat Sanger, right?
Right.
And Kennedy beat Hanford in overtime.
We'll see. If Kennedy gets to 2-0 after beating Buchanan, then where Kennedy's going to be flying high for a little bit this season. Another, at least according to Max Preps, another ranked matchup we got is down in Visalia, Redwood and Clovis North. We had that game last year. I think these teams look a little bit different. Although Redwood still got that guy in running back. I think they got Jimmy Burke still.
Jimmy Burke, he's
still
a good player.
And he had a really good week last week.
He did, and they got a stud linebacker as well. We've talked a little bit about Redwood. Curtis Allen is their head coach. He's bringing in a lot of players. A different style. Redwood had trouble scoring points the last few years. There's been, if you look at the last 4 games, and these two schools have met the last 4 years, scores have been tight.
Yeah.
It's been really, really tight. Entered new coaches, right? And for both sides. Colby Hunter goes to Clovis North, scored 49 points against San Joaquin Memorial last week. It's a spread offense. It's that game. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs in that game as well. It's very, very intriguing matchup. I think there's going to be a lot more points than the last few years, like the 24-17 type games that we've seen between these two ball clubs.
How about this stat line? J.R. Cruz last week for Clovis North, 12 carries, 155.
I think he's a sophomore.
Two touchdowns as well. He also got a grab as well. How about Tyree Sams? 3 catches, 116. He's got big breakaway speed once again. That's one of the seniors that I feel like we forget to talk about, Tyree Sams.
Fastest kid in the Valley.
I can't wait to see what he looks like. What were his looks for the next level?
Yeah, he's got some D1 offers. Yeah, I think Sac State has offered him. But, yeah, he's got speed to burn.
For sure. Let me see. Is there other good ones out there in terms of that real quick as far as that's concerned? I just want to shout out just a few other games. Edison, I know. They're 1-0. They beat Templeton in double overtime. But Edison in a much better 1-0 record than they were last year when I think they couldn't win a game to start the season. That is a good start for them. They, of course, get the big test with St. Joe's coming up tonight.
St. Joe's at home. Tulare Union last week barely beat St. Joe's 27-24.
Yeah.
Right? That game was at St. Joe's at the Coast. So, yeah, I mean, that'd be great. Yeah. That'd be great if Edison came away with the win.
Just wanted to shout out Edison because 1-0 start, much better than what last year was when everybody was talking like, what the heck is going on with Edison in terms of that. Just about their San Joaquin Memorial back at home. They're looking to bounce back after that loss to Clovis North. They're hosting Christian Brothers. Of course, you're looking at that Golden West offense. So fun to watch to see how many points they can put up potentially over Danuba tonight. Nahara, the quarterback.
Did he have a 100 game, 300 passing, or close?
It was
right?
close.
Like 280?
It was close for the Trailblazers. He's still, I think, only a junior, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I'm pulling up the box score. Yeah, Jaden Nahara, 284, and then 121 on the ground for 5 total touchdowns. He just had the pick. He had a fumble as well. But phenomenal. He does it all for Golden West. Shout out to him. So, man, there's so much.
Lemoore at Washington Union.
Yeah.
Right? That's going to be a pretty good game.
For sure. Maybe you can stick. Do you got like 10 more minutes? Or do you got to run to your house?
I am good, Phil.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's keep it rolling.
Jorge's about to kill me because he wants to take a break like 10 minutes ago. So we're going to do that right now. And then we'll come back. I want to just cap up a little bit more on the show here with you on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
I'm here at the Roger Dunn Open. Former Fresno State football coach Pat Hill is at the first tee.
Hey, it's a fairway hit.
Yeah, but that's the wrong fairway, Coach.
I need to buy a golf game.
Coach, I really think you need a Roger Dunn makeover.
When you buy a game at Roger Dunn, you can play anybody, anytime, anywhere. This is the old coach, Pat Hill. I bought this 7-iron at Roger Dunn Golf. Number 8 at Tehama, 162 yards out. Eagle, baby!
Summer's wrapping up. It's time to get back to business and back to looking sharp. The holidays will be here before you know it, along with every big event in between. At Fresno Suit Outlet, they've got you covered with their famous 3-suit deal. 3 suits, 3 shirts, 3 ties, 3 belts, 3 pairs of socks, and 3 hankies, just $3.99. Plus shoes start at just $39 too. Only at the Fresno Suit Outlet on Blackstone, just north of Shaw, with the Golden Horse out front, and online at FresnoSuitOutlet.com.
Hey Bulldog fans, Lynn's Restaurant Group, a proud partner of Fresno State Athletics, has launched a brand new app. With over 8 locations like J-Pot, Ramen Hayashi, and Hino Oishi, the app brings all your favorites together in one place. Order ahead, skip the wait, and earn rewards every time you dine. Whether it's game night or family night, the app has you covered. New members even score $5 in LRG credit just for signing up. Download the Lynn's Restaurant Group app today and start earning with every visit. Go Dogs!
Football fans, it's Phil Benotti here with Behind the Bench. Big thing I think about with tailgates is the food, and the best place to get ready for it is visiting Grocery Outlet in Kerman, Sanger, and Fresno's Southeast, Downtown, and Northwest stores. Stock up and save big on quality meats, snacks, drinks, beer, and wine, and same quality as the big chain stores, but at lower prices. And while you're there, sign up for the Tailgate Ready contest to win a pair of tickets to each Fresno State home game and $100 for your tailgate only at participating grocery outlet stores here in the Central Valley.
One of the most important keys to success is teamwork. Just like the Bulldogs football team, Fresno Rack has assembled a great team of their own. An industry leader in warehouse pallet racking and industrial warehouse shelving, Fresno Rack is truly your full-service one-stop shop. In-house CAD permit department, in-house installation crews, and of course Fresno Rack's sales team is second to none. Whether you're looking to just fine-tune your warehouse and make it more efficient, or you're building a new warehouse and need a turnkey from start to finish, Fresno Rack is here to help. Call, click, or visit Fresno Rack today.
From the roar of Valley Children's Stadium to the heart of the Red Wave, Fresno State football ignites the Valley, and Precision Civil Engineering is proud to help power that momentum. Named 2024's best engineering firm by the Business Journal, Precision Civil Engineering delivers top-tier planning, surveying, and design building, the backbone of the Central Valley. Proud partners of Fresno State Athletics, because when the dogs rise, the Valley rises. Go Dogs! Visit precisioneng.net today.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's California area attorneys. 1455 Frazee Road, Suite 500, San Diego, California, 92108. CordellCordell.com.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Behind the bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. We were cut off a little bit, so I wanted to just give a little bit of closure to our segment here with Paul Metters here for another little bit, just talking high school sports and, of course, Fresno State as well. Paul, I do want to give love to some of the smaller schools a little bit too in tonight's action. And I wanted to see if you had a little bit of those nuggets, because I know you look at those things, and I know you look at it in that terms of making sure the little guy gets their opportunity to shine. I had a few on my board that I wanted to see if we could hit on real quick, and then we can go to some Fresno State talk real quick as well. Torres and Madera go at it tonight.
Yeah.
Madera, I want to just mention Madera. I think they also had a stock up. One of the top risers. If you had to buy stock in teams in terms of the high school side, I thought Madera had a really big stock up in terms of their week one performance from what we saw.
Coach Palinelli, one of the best, right? Everybody knows Coach P. He's amazing. Graduated 21 seniors, and we followed their season pretty closely last year. You know, that Central Section Championship game against Kerman that didn't go their way, and he's like, I got a sophomore quarterback. I got a freshman running back. And that always, right, you always perk up when you hear freshman running back, all right? And sure enough, they looked really good. Coach P was very excited about his game last week, just kind of looking at their non-league schedule. They might go 5-0. I'll be honest. They might go 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you got a young squad, you don't know quite what to expect, but they exceeded his expectations last week. And go into that Torres game at Madera School against Madera School. There's going to be a lot of people there tonight.
Oh yeah, it's going to be played at Torres. Is it going to?
Yeah, right.
It's going to be Madera's going to be the home team
because of the renovations.
Yeah,
and
that'll be strange.
Renovations, they always take at least double time of what the initial prognosis is.
Of course it does.
So he's like, nope, we're not going to be in there this year. So the renovations at Madera High. So. They might make some noise, right, in the CMAC. We talked about Justin Garza. We talked about Sanger, the Sanger's League, until someone knocks them off. Buller's going to be the good this year. Edison got that win last week. So I think we might see a little bit more parity in the CMAC this year.
Lemore's at Washington Union.
Yeah.
You mentioned Lemore. Lemore is a good team to talk about. I want to give you a little time to talk about them here.
Coach Campbell was on the show last week. It's actually the first time I had a chance to talk with him. I heard him a few times on podcasts and follow him on social media. He's an alum of the school. He bleeds purple. He played some college football at Azusa Pacific. He's on campus. He's just one of those guys that you root for.
Yeah.
He's energetic. He loves the kids. Even though he's a young coach, he's got a lot of stuff figured out for his age already. He did mention, right, young team, came away with a 14-7 win against Monache. So a little bit tighter than he thought. I think one of those touchdowns was a special team touchdown. But, yeah, he's just one of those coaches that you root for. You want him to succeed. So, yeah, and the lower level programs as well, Phil. You mentioned they do have a JV team and a freshman team.
Okay.
They're running camps all the time. So Lemore football is going to be in good shape for years to come.
Anybody else you want to hit on for the slate tonight as well? I just wanted to point out while you look for one, Liberty Brentwood coming into Frontier, playing at Frontier tonight, and Frontier's
got smoked last week.
40-7. I know Liberty of Brentwood. They got some good talent. I just got to give my shout out to my hometown Brentwood.
I know you had to put that in somewhere. You always do, either on your show or the broadcast.
Liberty was the rivals. I hated the Liberty Lions. I still probably do. I still hate the Liberty Lions. But maybe we'll see how Frontier does tonight, because that's a team that people expect more from than last week's performance.
Running, right? A lot of good running backs coming from that area as well, Phil.
Yeah.
Right? All right, so just kind of scrolling there. Chowchilla and Dos Palace. Chowchilla had that really good year last year. I think lost in the second round of the playoffs. Dos Palace, right? The storied program of Dos Palace. That's going to be in DP tonight. Garces had a nice win last week. They're playing at Paso, who Kingsburg beat last week. I believe, is it Buchanan? Somebody else plays Paso this year.
I'll check it here.
Okay.
You. Yeah.
Yeah, just a few of those games.
Madera's and Buchanan has them. Yeah. There you go. But Buchanan has them at the end of September.
Got it. And one more game, Woodlake and Exeter.
I was looking at that one.
Yeah, that's an intriguing matchup. So Woodlake's got a pretty good quarterback this year.
Yeah, Woodlake. Got a buddy who's from Woodlake, so he always likes it when I give him a little bit of shout out the Woodlake Tigers down there. Good.
And Selma beat Fresno High last night. Did you mention that? They played Thursday.
Did they play Thursday?
Yeah, it's on Max Preps.
I got to hear. I thought Selma and Fresno played tonight. Okay, do you got a final from that game?
Yeah, it was like 24-21. I'll have to check my
Selma?
my Twitter app. Yeah, Selma.
Selma.
Yeah,
gotcha. Selma on the win column now. They're 1-1. So there you go. Paul, you're a Fresno State ticket holder.
Yep.
You're a man with expectations for the Bulldogs every year.
Yep.
I know you'll be talking about previewing the game tomorrow on your show, Central Valley Sports Report. But what are your feelings after the Kansas game? I don't think I've talked to you other than maybe like how was the presser in that sense on the Monday side of things. But do you pull it away and you wash it away and say, well, that was what it was? And do you look at Boise's performance last night and say, okay, maybe things are relative here in terms of what Fresno State did versus what Boise maybe have done? And I don't know. How do you compartmentalize what you're expecting going into the game tomorrow night?
Whenever I talk about Fresno State on air, either your show or my show a little bit, I kind of frame it more as a fan, right? Because I've been a Fresno State fan, all my life, right?
Yeah.
Through all the different eras, season ticket holder, as you mentioned, 0-2 would not sit well with a lot of people, and I don't have to rehash, what everybody was feeling this last week after that performance at Kansas. But I go back to a lot of our media friends who literally said, I don't know what to expect with Fresno State at Kansas. They really didn't know, and I think we got a little bit of a taste. And I think Coach Entz, judging from what I heard at the presser on Monday, I wasn't there, but I heard you guys report from it, and seeing a few clips about this week. Just okay, guys, this is what happened. We got punched in the mouth a little bit. We took bad angles on defense. We didn't run the ball very well. We had some breakdowns. Just trying to fix that in the in the week to come. I think there's still some trepidation with fans.
Yeah.
Going into Saturday, 6:30 kickoff. I Fresno State, the 1.5 point spread, I still don't get. Fresno State better win this game, right? Again, early, patience, all those things, right? As a fan and even as a media member, you got to keep telling yourself. But yeah, there'll be a little more talk if the Dogs drop this one at home
I think
tomorrow.
the traditional fan doesn't really know what we're going into with this team as well. This Georgia Southern game is, you hear Georgia Southern, you're like, who? I haven't heard about this program, but they've got some capabilities out in the football program. By the way, it's Clay Helton. Clay Helton beat us 3 times in his time at USC. I got 3. The media guy told me 3. I know Jorge just flashed me 2 wins. He's got 3, according to the media guy. Maybe they're counting one of the coordinator years in terms of that. So maybe that's what they're doing.
Is it their first trip to California as well?
It is. So it's a little bit of a hike. That's why they're maybe starting an hour early. I don't know, accommodating the road team, but we'll see how it looks. I've said my piece on it.
I mean, is it okay for me to say all that stuff as a fan more than just breaking it down like X's and O's?
It's how you feel. It's how you feel. And I've been begging to hear from the fans on it because I feel like the fans have been hesitant to say anything other than, oh, it's over. We lost this game. I'm like, were you planning on making the playoff? I don't know. First-year head coach making the playoffs, crazy. That's like never happened unless you're at a big Power 5. You know what I mean? But winning a conference championship, that's all ahead of us. It's all right in front of us in terms of that.
And like big-time sports fans, right? We live or die with our teams. And so, if a team loses and doesn't perform like we think, it's doom and gloom for a lot of us. And then, you could ride too high if they would have won 34-7 or whatever, right? So.
Can I interest you in a little trivia before I let you go? A little Fresno State trivia.
You can put me on the spot.
You got a little Fresno. How well do you know Fresno State football?
Football. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like a 7.5.
Like how far back do you go with Fresno State? I'm curious as well.
Probably the Tedford era.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Oh gosh.
I've been
Jorge, you give me some signs or something if I'm really, really underwater on this one.
We did this. We did this earlier.
Out.
Okay.
We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
But
So there's two quarterbacks that have thrown the most yards in a single game in Fresno State history.
Single game.
They're tied at 536 yards. One is Derek Carr. Can you name me the other who is tied at 536 yards in a single game for
Post
Fresno State?
Or pre-Tedford? I'm putting you on the spot.
Post-Tedford.
Post-Tedford?
Post-Tedford.
Was it Pinniger? Paul
No,
Pinniger?
it was not Pinniger. It was not Pinniger. No. Should I put on the music, or is that too stressful?
Nah, it's stressful.
Too stressful.
It's a little stressful.
Too stressful.
Give me an era.
No. I know. Let's see. What hint can I go? He's currently coaching at Indiana State. Yeah. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't.
He's one of the guys that I don't hear about a lot, but he's popping up on the stat book. Like, I was like, wow, this guy, I don't hear a lot about him. But
give him the decade.
80s.
In the 80s.
Yeah.
He might have
Obviously
played
it's not
with
Trent.
Chris.
I think he was a little after Chris Pacheco.
Oh, I mean, it's Kevin, right?
No,
It's not Kevin Sweeney?
It's the guy after Kevin. Who's the guy after Kevin? Do you know that one? He did this in 1987. This quarterback.
It wasn't Barsotti, was it?
No.
Mark? No.
No.
All right, help me out here.
Why waving the white flag? Or you? He did it. I think he did it against UOP. Was the game he did it against? UOP.
Billy Volek?
Not Billy. Billy Volek's a little later than that.
That's 96.
Yeah. Are you waving the white flag?
Yeah.
Dave Telford. Dave Telford. Does that name ring a bell, Paul?
A little bit, right?
Yeah.
You probably get confused with Telford.
Yeah.
Right? All right. Big Dave against Pacific in 87.
87, and Carr did it, I think, against San Diego State in
Carr did it a lot. How many 500-yard games did Derek
a ton.
have?
Derek had an insane amount. Derek's the only 5,000-yard thrower in a single season for the Bulldogs. So, but I found that fascinating. Dave Telford, man.
He only played 2 seasons at State.
He only did, but
that's
how
why
many
probably
seasons?
2.
Just 2.
That's why probably people don't remember.
I want to drop
that
a Dave
much.
Telford in front of Paul Leffler and see what he gives me.
Oh, he'll tell you about his whole history.
I know, because I'm learning about Dave Telford today, and I'm having a lot of fun learning about him. So he's currently a assistant coach at Indiana State for the Sycamores
Okay.
right now in their football program. So, all right, Paul, we'll see you over at La Monica. Should be a lot of fun.
Red Polos?
That's
going
what we're
Red
rocking.
Polos?
That's what we're rocking.
With Pat Hill? Oh, my gosh. I
Pat
can't
Hill.
wait. That's going to be awesome.
Pat's going to be – you got a snack idea for –
I do. I got 2 snacks. I already bought them, actually.
All right. So we'll be hearing Pat smacking and snacking on the airwaves tonight. Can't wait. 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 kickoff. Clovis, Salinas coming up next on 1430. All right, Paul. We'll see you there.
See you soon.
All right. We'll be right back with more Behind the Bench right after this on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
For over 60 years, we at DeBudo Defendus Insurance, a multi-generational and family-owned company, have proudly provided high-quality risk management and insurance solutions to local businesses. We stand on a tradition of solving insurance pain points in a wide range of industries like agriculture, construction, hospitality, transportation, and many others. A partnership and personal touch is what you can expect from us at DeBudo Defendus Insurance. Visit DIBU.com and get the business insurance you need today.
License number 0E02096.
Hey, football fans, you know what makes a team great on the gridiron? It's when all the players do their part to make everything work. That's what Superior Pipe can do for your food processing plant, chemical plant, boiler service, or tank truck. Thanks to their reliable and durable pipes, valves, and fittings, you can be sure that everything that makes your team perform is running strong. And with their same-day service and competitive pricing, they'll help make sure all your players are doing their part. Call now at 266-PIPE or visit online at SuperiorPipeUSA.com today. Go Dogs!
Are you a business owner struggling to understand how cloud technology can help your business? Are you in need of computer and technology support for your employees? M-Cubed Technologies is your solution for fully managed IT services. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. M-Cubed will be your partner in the digital world, allowing your business to carry on worry-free. We specialize in cloud hosting, Microsoft 365 management, general IT support, and VoIP phone services. Call M-Cubed Technologies today to discuss our partnerships.
Drum roll, please. KFC is bringing back the bold, craveable classic guests and fans have been asking for. Hot and spicy wings and potato wedges. For a limited time, the ultimate fan favorite pair will make all your game days this season even more delicious. And that's not all. While it feels like competitors are continuously making their food smaller and smaller for the same price, the Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwich remains bigger and better. Guests can get it for just $3.99 for a limited time. You can't beat that, only at KFC. Hey everybody, Paul Metters here, host of the Central Valley Sports Report. I want to give a big shout out to Clovis Stone, Masonry, and Landscape Supply, proud supporters of all high school athletics, especially our Clovis schools. For over 50 years, they've been the Valley's go-to for natural and artificial stone, brick, block, bark, hummus, you name it, they've got it, with fast delivery available. Find them on Sunnyside, just south of Herndon and Clovis, or online at clovisstone.net. Ball improvement starts here at Clovis Stone.
The wait is over. Toledo's Mexican restaurant, family-owned for over 30 years, is now open in Cedar Rainiz in Northeast Fresno. It's your spot for bold, authentic Mexican flavors and all your favorite sports games. Happy hour runs Monday through Friday, 2 to 5, plus weekends, Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 10 p.m., and Saturday mornings, 8 to 11 for college football. Enjoy $10 appetizers and $7 house margaritas. Toledo's, now with 3 locations in Clovis and Fresno. Order online at Toledo'sMexicanRestaurant.com.
At Citizens Business Bank, we've been taking a personal approach to banking for over 40 years and are consistently recognized as one of the top performing banks in the nation. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We believe in the importance of building long-lasting and genuine relationships with our customers. We want to provide you with the solutions you need to grow your business because your success is our success. Citizens Business Bank, member FDIC.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Last segment. We'll see him over there, LaMonica, in about a few hours from now. Really fun doing all that kind of stuff, and really fun doing the show. And glad to be doing this show and wrapping it up here. We got one more thing to do before we say goodbye, and that is I got to finish my power rankings because we haven't been able to do that. So here we go. It's the top 4 of my power rankings, the ones that people have been waiting for all the last couple of weeks. I've been running through the 32 best NFL teams on a daily basis since last Monday. Little recap here for you. Saints, Browns, Titans, Colts, Giants. My sheet's not moving. Where are we? There we go. Panthers, Jets, Cardinals, Dolphins, Jags, Bears, Steelers, Falcons, Bengals, Cowboys, Seahawks, Niners, Broncos, Texans, Packers, Commanders, Chargers, Vikings, Bucks, Bills, Lions. We now have 4 remaining. Jorge will step in. And Chloe, if you want to step in too. Too high, too low, just right. We will do that right here, right now. At number 4, I have the Los Angeles Rams. And the Los Angeles Rams, with their talent, with their ability, with their offense, with their coaching, with their defense, with their pass rush, with their ability to do a lot of different things on both sides of the ball. They're a quality team that is ready for another quality run in the playoffs, I believe. I think they have the most veteran leadership team out there as well. They've done a lot of things to improve internally. Defensively, they just draft really solid players I just need them to be a little bit better in stopping the run, and that is about it. They were a touchdown away from beating the Super Bowl champs eventually. And let's be honest, if it wasn't a blizzard, I think they would have done it regardless. So Rams at number 4 here for me.
I think it's a little bit too high for me. I feel like they don't have a quarterback yet.
They have Stafford. What are you talking about? He's practicing. Yeah. That's good enough news for me.
That's what they tell you. That's what I want you to think.
Okay. We're not going off speculation here. In a vacuum, Stafford playing on this football team. Very good football team.
But if it's what percentage?
Take away the back injury. If Stafford's playing on this team at full health, good team.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's not.
Okay. Chloe, what do you got?
Too high.
Too high, of course.
Just too high. I don't know. I feel like there's just other things that they can pull together, and they just, again, they fall short. They get in and they fall short.
It's fair. It's fair. Maybe it's because I really like this team. Maybe it is. Maybe
it's because I really don't.
That is also bias, and I will not take it. I did ask two people, Niners fans, right? I've been asking Niner fans to justify this Rams. But anyways. Number 3. Boy, you're going to love this next team. Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs here at number 3. Honestly, I could put them at 1 just because of what they're doing. Or 2. But I got them at 3. I got them at 3 because if Coach Spagnuolo is still coaching that defense, they will forever be a top 5 team. They are doing it until they do not do it this year. In my opinion, they got to show me failure before I can put them down. I know the roster isn't sort of compelling. It's almost kind of boring per se, but they get the job done when it comes to the time of when they need to win football games. I will say Andy Reid is the best coach in the world in the National Football League. And Andy Reid will continue to prove that to me day in, day out. Kansas City, a machine. Boring and inevitable. And they are number 3 for me on my list.
Yeah, I feel like they're just right. That's just right. I feel like the number 3 is it's a good place to put them. Yeah. It feels like they're getting old, but at the same time getting young. How are they doing that? It's
crazy. Just that's how dynasties are built.
They do a lot of good things with their, drafts, so that helps them out.
Chloe, what do you got?
Unfortunately, I have to agree and say that you have them just right. But I'm just really hoping this is the year they do fail. But I mean, they keep showing up and showing out, and they keep showing that they're a strong team. So, unfortunately, just right.
There you go. Number 2. I have the Philadelphia Eagles at number 2. I think they are an elite team. They are the best team in the National Football Conference. They are a juggernaut in the making in terms of that. They did really well on their Super Bowl run. My concern is the formation of their offensive line. Can it be sustained like it was last year? They did have a lot of injury luck in terms of it, but I'm curious to see if that will blend together with some of the moving pieces on that offensive line. They proved that they can handle losing leaders on that line like Jason Kelsey a year ago. They added to it and made it happen. Defensively, lost a few pieces as well, but I still think they are as elite of a team out there. But I think they're 2 because a team above them got a little bit better, and that's why I have them at number 2.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a good place to put them, but I feel like their defense has a lot of questions.
True.
A lot of questions, so they might they're like on the border for me.
Yeah.
Either a little bit too high or just right enough. But yeah, their defense.
Chloe, what about you?
Pretty much, yeah, the same. Just it's a little bit on the border. It just depends on how they show up at their games, and I feel like they are also one of those teams, though, that can be adjusted higher or lower throughout the season.
Very close. We got only like a minute left, so I'm going to go really close on this one. Number 1 team in the National Football League, the Baltimore Ravens. They added so much on defense. Jair Alexander is going to be a phenomenal player for them. They get all the edge rushers in what they can provide. This is the best defense in the National Football League. Lamar Jackson could be the best quarterback out there as well. Feels like the time for the Baltimore Ravens. Jim Harbaugh, a very phenomenal coach for them. Ravens, number 1 team in the National Football League. I have to put them here.
I agree. I think they're the best team right now in the NFL. I think everything's aligned for them, but It's just a matter of executing, and sometimes most of the time they come up short. So
we'll see. What about you, Chloe?
I like it. I've always liked the Ravens, and I've always wanted to root for them, so I like that.
Ravens #1 in the Benotti's Best, and now we have football coming up. All right, folks, that's our show. That's it. We're on our way to LaMonica Stadium next. High school football Friday Night Lights coming up at 7 p.m. pregame. We'll see you then. Until then, have a good rest of your night and stay safe.
Ever wonder where those large box stores get their green and orange racks? How about equipment or auto parts store shelving?